Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate everybody being here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see you, father of three. Yes, sir. I see you, South. Yes, sir. YouTube. What's good, guys? It's your boy TD, guys, and I'm back again with another live. Guys, what am I doing? Let me start this over. YouTube. What's good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And tonight's live is going to be on some sleepers, some league winner sleepers, guys. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. This is cutting edge content. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I wasn't gonna do a live tonight, guys, but I thought y'all needed this live. To make sure you ready for if you need to get into the playoffs. I know a lot of us are on the edge of like 6-7. I know I'm in a lot of leagues where I'm 7-6, 6-7, and I need to win this week and score a lot of points. So I got some guys for the fourth quadrant that I think could be league winners. And I'm not going to go too obvious. There's a couple of obvious guys on this list, but I got some guys that's going to be cutting edge content. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, no, Spurs Talk. It's all good, bro. I got a lot going on, but I'm trying to get this live in here before I got some stuff going on, bro. But thank you. It's all good. It's all good. Appreciate you. Let me see here. All right. So, guys, let's go ahead and get started with these about 12 guys. I got 12 guys. I'm going to start off with a wide receiver. And the first wide receiver that I want to talk about is going to be Christian Watson. Christian Watson. And guys, the reason why I believe that Christian Watson will be a league winner, he is the number one for the Green Bay Packers. We have finally found the number one. I know a lot of you are disgusted with Jaden Reed coming back, with Romeo Dobbs, Bo Melton, and Tucker Kraft is not even there anymore. But I think Christian Watson is the number one guy. They need him to stretch the ball down the field now that Tucker Kraft is not this underneath tight end beast that was this offense. He was the number one guy for this offense. They flowed through Tucker Kraft. I think they are flowing through Christian Watson, and that's what's going to happen throughout the rest of the season for your fantasy football playoffs going into the fourth quadrant. So you should want Christian Watson on your team, and you need to play him. These are some of these guys that you're going to need to get into your lineup no matter who you got. Don't get trapped off with some of these players like Cortland Sutton, who I don't think Cortland Sutton is a bad fantasy football player, but I don't believe he has the upside to win you a league. So these can be trap running backs, trap quarterbacks, and trap wide receivers. These guys are just average, and you can't win a championship being average. Let's move on to another wide receiver. It's going to be Jameson Williams from the Detroit Lions. Jameson Williams from the Detroit Lions. And the reason why I like Jameson Williams, guys, as a breakout league winner, which he's all of them. He's coming from a 6th round, 5th round pick guy who's getting ready to probably be a top 5 guy for the rest of the season. So you want this guy on your team. The new offensive coordinator, which is the head coach. I was about to say Ben Johnson, but Dan Campbell, he's what I would say one of the best offensive coordinators in the game. We thought he's more of like a meathead type guy. I don't believe he's a meathead guy. I believe that he is a guy who can call dynamic plays and get the balls to his playmakers like a Jahmyr Gibbs and a Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams struggled early in the season with the new offensive coordinator. But as soon as Dan Campbell started calling plays, Jameson Williams took off. So I think Jameson Williams is going to be a league winner down the stretch. He is a top 5 guy. I'm talking about with JSN. I'm talking about Drake London, Jamar Chase. He's up there with those guys, the way the season is going to finish. All right, let's move on to another running back. My running back is going to be RJ Harvey. Now, this is the most important thing that I saw in last week's game. I didn't need it, I wasn't really worried about the carries and the opportunities. I wanted to see him get green zone work because I know when it comes down to a Sean Payton team, they sub to pass it every single time they get down there. They sub to run it with Bo Nix. I wanted to see RJ Harvey get work, and he did more than just get work. He got 2 touchdowns. So that lets me know when they get down into the green zone, they looking for RJ Harvey to have a nice role and get the ball in the green zone. And that's what makes me feel comfortable by having RJ Harvey. We always worried about RJ Harvey because we know what Sean Payton can do. He was going to give what is it, Tyler Batty, going to give him opportunities. He's going to give McLaughlin opportunities, but no, they are not getting in the green zone. Now, I think they will get an opportunity or two depending on how the game is flowing. If RJ Harvey is tired or he just had a big run or one of these guys are playing really well. But I believe RJ Harvey is now a top 24 running back rest of the season, especially with it getting cold and in Denver is outside, so they're going to have to run the ball in order to win games. I don't think they're going to. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Somebody let me know if you can hear me. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Big Will. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Hold on for a second, guys. I got somebody blowing up my daggone phone. Give me a second. Okay. Um. Okay, yeah, guys. So get back to our season. Thank you, Rosie. I think he's the top 24 running back rest of the season. RJ Harvey is it's going to be a bell cow getting implemented on the goal line. That's the main thing when it comes to a Sean Payton offense, guys. That's why when I talk about different offenses, different things matter to me, right? Like in a split backfield for Dan Campbell is different than a split backfield for Sean Payton, right? So you have to talk game script, and that's why I like the game script that RJ Harvey got. Let's go on to a quarterback, and this is an easy one, but I just want people to know Joe Burrow is going to be a league winner in the 4th quadrant. He was on a lot of waivers after he went through the injury. It was up to a lot of us to pick him up or stash him. It was up for us to pick him up and stash him. And now he's there and he's going to be delivering. And I'm going to tell you something about Joe Burrow. I don't like pocket quarterbacks. The only reason why I don't draft a lot of Joe Burrow is because of his injuries. I don't want a pocket quarterback that might get injured. And because he's a dog. He don't go down with little bitty injuries, but he's just kind of injury prone. And him and Jamar Chase, I don't like that dynamic. When he can go down, Jamar Chase could struggle. But let me tell you about Joe Burrow when he's healthy. I haven't seen, outside of maybe a Tom Brady, a Peyton Manning, or Aaron Rodgers, and I think he's better at this than they are. He would put the ball, he's going to throw the deep ball. He's going to put the ball in there for to make big plays. I mean, he has a special it factor for that. He's not scared to make a big play at a big time in the game. This guy's crazy. Crazy, relentless. That's why Jamar Chase loves him. So Joe Burrow is probably be a league winner. You probably gonna be seeing 50 points with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins out there. I just want people to know that. So be ready to go against that. So Joe Burrow is a league winner. Let's move on to another guy. Let's move on to a wide receiver. And that's going to be A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, new brother in town. A.J. Brown. Yes, guys, A.J. Brown. Let me tell you something about A.J. Brown. I know a lot of you struggled with him all season. I kept telling y'all, listen, he's going to be okay. And I kept telling you, start him, start him, start him, start him. Start A.J. Brown. Now, listen, I'm not sitting here patting myself on the back because I knew A.J. Brown was going to ball out week 11 and he was going to have 25 points because I don't know none of that. It's A.J. Brown. So, and it's a little bit of the squeaky wheel type stuff. When you start talking, so they might even be trying to prove a point. I don't know what's going to happen next year with them having to try to feature A.J. Brown a lot to keep him happy. And the way Jalen Hurts plays the game, he's not that type of quarterback. So I don't know what's going to happen next year. But this year, A.J. Brown is probably going to be a top 10 or wide receiver every single week. Especially with them struggle. Listen, guys, you should enjoy them struggling. because that's A.J. Brown. If you got A.J. Brown, you should embrace the struggle. Now, I know Philly fans going to destroy me in the chat, and that's fine. Y'all can destroy me. But when it comes to A.J. Brown getting targets when a team is losing, they trying to find their way, nobody can really stop him. It's just not conducive for the team to try to pass it. Jalen Hurts' superpower is not passing the ball. That's no disrespect to Jalen Hurts. Everybody got strengths and weaknesses. Jalen Hurts is one of the most strong mentally than any other quarterback. But when it comes to him just throwing it 40 times, that's not what he's going to be great at. But for the rest of this season, he might not be throwing it 40 times. But I believe A.J. Brown and Saquon are guys that you just got to go down with the ship, no matter what you see, no matter what they score. That's why when you draft a guy in the first round, you can't sit him, especially going into the play. Like Saquon can have a big game. So they're going to have to use Saquon. They're going to have to use A.J. Brown. This is not about Saquon. I just want you to know the flow of this offense. I'm giving you the game script. They want to get Saquon going. Saquon is not beat up far as he had a lot of carries this year, but they kind of saved them for the playoffs. But I believe right now, since they losing, they don't want to lose out. So they go, this is a playoff game. This is a playoff time for Philly, because they are 2 games back more than what they wanted to be. Dallas is probably not going to win that division, but they still want to go and finish strong. They don't want it to be like it was a couple years ago when they went on the Super Bowl run, and then the next year they was looking good and they fell off the cliff and it looked terrible. They don't want that to happen again. So trust A.J. Brown. Let's move on to another tight end. Listen, guys, if you want to skip the line, I will get to everybody's question, but if you want to skip the line, you can send a super chat. Outside of that, guys, I want to get through this list because I want people that's streaming the live to be able to get to the honey. Yes, I appreciate it. Appreciate you. Okay. I want to talk about a tight end. This is an upper echelon tight end, but I want people to feel comfortable, know what you got. I'm not talking about any trades because it's not, trade deadlines are probably gone. But if the trade deadline is open, you can use it for whatever. Maybe you can trade for some of these guys. But the next guy is going to be a tight end. It's going to be Brock Bowers. It's going to be Bowers. And listen, I'm probably biased talking about this because I took a lot of Brock, but I feel great that I did it now and held on to him. So I took Brock Bowers in the second round in a lot of leagues because I'm like, I want that upside. I'm trying to score 40 point, 50 point, 40 point, 50 point. I wanted that 40 point, 50 points. And guess what? I got that now. Listen, you see Brock Bowers, you know what it is. I mean, especially with Chip Kelly being fired, you know that they're going to make sure this guy's getting targets. They're going to use this weapon. They don't want him to rust on this team. Like, he's getting ready to get a deal. They probably going to give him a new deal probably next year in the offseason. So I think Brock Bowers, guys, is probably about to go average 20 points a game. Genty, Brock Bowers. Genty, Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers, Genty. Brock Bowers, Genty. Brock Bowers, Genty. That's what they're going to do. Now, Genty, they may fade off a little bit, but I think in the passing game, that's where they're going to use him. They don't want to run him into a cloud of dust and damage his body. But get him out in space and see what Genty can do. So this team is going to be passing the ball. Brock Bowers is going to get his targets. You see what he did with that one-hand catch. They're going to keep going to him. So feel great that you drafted a guy like Brock Bowers and play him. I didn't want to be redundant, but I had to let people know, like, Brock Bowers is getting ready to be crazy. So if you're going against him, our Father who are in heaven, if you got him, go ahead and enjoy your fruits of your labor. What's up, Big Will? I see you. Big Will says, a player of A.J. Brown's caliber shouldn't have to vocalize for the team to throw him the ball. But when he did, they gave him the damn ball and he produced. Right. But let me tell you about Big Will. You're right about him speaking out. But this is the difference between a Michael Irvin and an A.J. Brown. They both are Hall of Fame guys. They both are big body wide receivers, pause. But the difference is mentality. Jimmy taught this to Michael Irvin when he was in college. We want to win the game. It's not about you getting 150 yards and proving that you are All-American or you are Hall of Famer. You're going to get all of that. That's why Jerry, then they showed up. Listen, if we win, you ain't never got to work another day in your life, even if you blow everything you got. But if you just go out there on your stats, soon as you make a bad play, they gonna get on you. But if you become a champion, then nobody will be able to take that away. Now, listen, AJ Brown is searching to be a champion. I don't think necessarily he's selfish. I think he has to circumvent what's going on, and he has to hold them to the fire. If I was AJ Brown, I would go to the media and say, listen, I'm not going to say nothing else. But when I go in my contract negotiations, I'm going to air it out. If they come in there and tell me that my numbers are not good enough, I'm going to air it out. That's what I would do if I was AJ Brown. I would go in and tell him, don't be trying to lowball me. I'm a champion. If we go out here and I win 2 or 3 Super Bowls and I ask for another contract, give me a contract off my Super Bowls. Don't look at my numbers then if you don't want me saying anything about my numbers. That's the thing I think is the conundrum what's going on here. And AJ Brown got to understand, if he really want to win another Super Bowl, he needs to step back and let Jalen Hurts figure it out, because that's what he is. That's what he does. He's not a hyper-target type quarterback. He's more of a guy who can manage the game, but at an elite level. At an elite, I hate to say a game manager. I won't call him a game manager. I just think he does what he needs to do on a game-to-game basis, depending on what that game might need. If he needs to run the ball 15 times, he will. If he needs to throw the ball 40 times, he will. But is he great at throwing the ball 40 times every single game? I mean, yeah, every single game where he's going to finish with 5,000 passing yards? No, that's not his strength. And A.J. Brown has to know that if he want to win a ring. But if he don't, if he's all about his numbers because he's still trying to make the Hall of Fame and he wants to have 1,500 yards receiving, then go ahead and do it. But you might not win a ring that way. So he has to, that's the conundrum right here, if you ask me. Okay. K-Bridge says, I just subbed. Can you give me a shout out? What's going on? I see you, K-Bridge. It sounds similar to Terrell Owens. Kinda. It does. But I won't put him in Terrell Owens. I'm not saying Terrell Owens is a bad teammate, but I understand how he did, call his players out, call his quarterbacks out when they didn't throw him the ball. So yeah, it is kind of similar. Okay, let's go ahead, guys. The next guy I want to talk about is this is a sleeper league winner. This is a sleeper league winner. It's going to be A.D. Mitchell. It's going to be A.D. Mitchell. And guys, A.D. Mitchell is the number one, and he's going to have some boom games for Tyrod Taylor for the rest of the season. 4th quadrant breakout. League winner right here, A.D. Mitchell. He had, 10 targets last week, and he can boom. So that's special, guys. You don't get that from wide receivers this late in the season. So this is a guy that needs to go, especially in Dynasty, go get him. It might be Garrett Wilson and A.D. Mitchell, and that's a good future for them. That's 2 good wide receivers with good pedigree. A.D. Mitchell is more of a boom guy. He's not a hyper target 10, 15 catch guy, I think, for the rest of his career like a Garrett Wilson, but I do think he will always be able to make big plays in the NFL. So that's why I like him this year for the rest of the year. That's the only guy that they got. Garrett might not come back. It just depending on the record. Why would you bring Garrett back for 2 or 3 games for him to go down with another injury or something? You might just need to hold him out, depending on what they want to do. If they want to develop with Tyrod Taylor, with Garrett Wilson, maybe they bring him back. Okay, let's move on to a tight end. It's going to be Harold Fannin. Harold Fannin is the guy. Probably they're gonna let David Njoku walk next year, or he might sign a deal kind of like a Mark Andrews type deal. But Harold Fannin is that guy. He reminds me of Shannon Sharp with a little bit of Jonnu Smith. He can do it all. He's really good with the ball in his hand. He looks like a running back with the ball in his hands. He breaks tackle, and he runs good routes, better than what you would think. He's a better wide receiver than Jonnu Smith, and I'm just talking about as catching the ball. When I say wide receiver, they're not wide receivers, but they catch the ball really well. And Harold Fannin is, to me, guys, is going to be a player for the future. This is a guy that you want to go and get Dynasty. I mean, he's going to be a nice player. So I love Harold Fannin for Shadir Sanders. Remember what I always tell you, a quarterback's best friend is a tight end. Pause. They are connected because usually that's a lot of these offensive coordinators that come from the West Coast. That is a safety blanket in that type of offense. A lot of play action here, come out the back door, tight end, and the flats wide open. That's easy. That's money pickings for NFL players. Yes, sir. Appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate everybody being here. Just keep the likes up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Let's go on. I'm going to talk about a quarterback. is going to be Bryce Young. Bryce Young. So if you looking to stream quarterbacks going into your playoffs, Bryce Young is a guy that need to be considered. And I would probably go to Bryce Young unless it's a really top end like a Justin Herbert, and it looks like he can play through that hand injury. Maybe somebody like that I might stream. But Bryce Young, I think he's matchup proof, but he still he can bust because he's Bryce Young, right? But it doesn't matter who they playing. The way he plays the game, when he's on, he's on. So if I'm streaming a quarterback, I don't mind streaming Bryce Young. I'm not saying Bryce Young is going to be a top 5 guy for the rest of the season, but I think you're going to see some a couple of top finishers. Like he can do that. He can go from 5 points or he can go for 35 points. He done had a couple 400-yard, 3 or 4 touchdown games. So I just want you to know, feel good. That's my streamer. That's my first guy. Without looking at the matchup and trying to nitpick it, this is probably my number 1 streamable quarterback in the playoffs. What's going on, Tron? I see you, Hennessy Black. I see you, Travis Looney. Travis says Fannin or Strange. I'm going with Fannin, and both of them are good plays, but I'm nitpicking. I'm going with Holly Berry over Margot Robbie. Fannin over Strange. But these are 2 great guys this week that you can play that I think probably going to be top 5 tight ends. Let's see. I'm gonna go with a running back. The next guy's gonna be Kyle Managa. Kyle Managa. Now listen, Kyle, to me, guys, is gonna overplay his value. Could I say Kyle Managa and DeAndre Swift? I could have, but I went with Kyle Managa. Why? It's because Kyle Managa is the value. He went off waivers, and he's gonna be putting up about the same amount of points, at least 10 to 15 points. That's killer value right now. That's what can win you a league, depending on what type of league. Now, listen, if you're in a league and your team is already studded out, Kyle Managa ain't going to do anything for you. Hennessy Black says Strange or Juwan Johnson. I'm going with Strange over Juwan Johnson. I'm going to get to my members. If you're a member, like I said, I'm going to try to get to you a little sooner. Hennessy Black says pick 2 PPR. Flowers, Pierce, Burton, Vele, Jaden Higgins. Bro, I'm going to go with Flowers. Let me tell you, and the reason why I'm going with Flowers is connected to Lamar Jackson, if you go look at that game, Flowers should have had, 15, 16 points with that touchdown? That's still there, guys. You got to be able to look past what the scoreboard says. Sometimes the scoreboard does not support what really happened on the field. So referees miss calls. So watch the game, and you can see Flowers is him. A lot of you, and I say this with you in your relationships too, always go out the person that you like, that's on the top of your list. But sometimes everything ain't gonna be clear cut like a brand new Lamborghini. Like Zay Flowers might not be Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, but this is a guy that's really, really talented that plays with Lamar Jackson. So I don't know. A lot of you seem y'all struggle to play, and I'm not getting on to Hennessy because of Zay Flowers saying you should play him. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I don't understand why Zay Flowers is not a top 24 wide receiver in your mind. Guys, the only reason why he had a bad year is because Lamar's been out. If Lamar would have played, Zay Flowers would have been a top 5 guy. Y'all saw it. See what happened week 1. Then week 2, he was balling out a little bit in the beginning. Then Lamar went down. Was it week 2 or week 3? Like, look, Zay played fine until Lamar went out, and then he was out 5 or 6 games, and Lamar still ain't all the way right. So I just want y'all to understand, Zay Flowers like that. So I'm going to say Zay Flowers. And then I like Burton with the injuries. With Rome could be out. Vele got a lot of targets. I like Pierce. Pierce is my guy. He is the number 1 over there now. I'm going with Flowers and Pierce. But if you wanted to substitute, you got 2 substitutes. We're not getting JD Higgins in there. That's not what we want today. But we do like Vele. We do like Burton. Burton is the guy that's upside. He's a boom bust guy, but he probably gonna have some opportunities to make some big plays. With Caleb Williams, he don't really have a number 1. Rome has not been what we want him to be. So Caleb's been playing fine, but it's no number 1 that we can count on every single week. So to me, I would probably just stay with Flowers and Pierce. But if you wanted to go with Burton because you like the matchup, you could. If you wanted to go with Vele, I wouldn't be mad at you, and you can substitute any of the Flowers or Pierce out. But it's Flowers and Pierce from the beginning. All right, But yes, guys. So I'm like I said, Kyle Managa is a sleeper. That's a guy that you should be looking to pick up and stash. He needs to be stashed. DeAndre Swift can go down. And they might just use Managa more and more because he seems to be the better running back, if according to PFF and win shares. All right, let's go on to a wide receiver, and this is going to be Terry McLaurin. And Terry McLaurin looks like a Terry McLaurin as a #1 wide receiver. He looked great with Mariota out there. Now he has Jaden Daniel, who will be playing. So I like Terry McLaurin to be a top 12 wide receiver for the rest of the season with Jaden Daniels. This is a wide receiver one who's been out for multiple weeks that we kind of forgot about. Now, this guy is remember, he finished as a top 5 wide receiver last year down the stretch. So I picked him up in the league. I'm playing him. If you watch how he looked with Mariota, that was very surprising to me. So I know Jaden Daniels is going to target him, even if they lose. All right, another wide receiver that I really like. I see you, Real Don. What's up, bro? How you doing? I know you was a little sick the other day. Good to see you, bro. But as far as another wide receiver that I like, guys, is going to be Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce is the #1 for the Colts, and they need to win. So expect Alec Pierce to keep getting targets down the field, which is high value targets for this offense. When you have a Jonathan Taylor and you can set up the run and you can play action and throw to Alec, it's a high value play for them. It's not a high value play for everybody if you can't establish the run. But the Colts is one of the best play action teams in the league because of Jonathan Taylor. So I'm gonna keep playing Alec Pierce the whole year. And last one, guys, before I get to more of the questions, appreciate everybody being here. Let's get the likes up and stuff like that. It's going to be Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman, guys, is going to be a league winner. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Let me tell you why he's going to be a league winner. Keon Coleman is going to be a league winner because they don't have a #1 guy that can make any plays down the field. They had to go back to get Gabe Davis just to have a threat down the field outside of Keon Coleman when he wasn't being trustworthy. So they got Gabe Davis. It's such a lack on his team. He has to do it. The guy, I went to Shavers and talked about him, and I felt disgusted when he went out there for a 0 one week. I was like, that ain't him. And then Keon Coleman, I thought, they would probably sit him for the rest of the year. He came out there and got that touchdown because they need him. Why are they going to try to get this guy a touchdown when he's missing meetings? Because they need him. If they didn't need him, they wouldn't throw him the ball in the red zone. So I think this guy's getting ready to break out because of just need alone. And he's out there on everybody's waivers right now as I speak. Go get him. This is a guy you can put in the flex. Okay. Let's see. Appreciate you being here, Clint Eastwood. Appreciate you being here, bro. Subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content. South says, what up? Would you start Daniel Jones or Jaden Daniels? Also, you still playing Tyler Warren over Franklin? Thanks for the insight. Yes, I'm still playing Tyler Warren over Franklin, and I would start Jaden Daniels over Daniel Jones. I do think Daniel Jones connects for at least one passing touchdown to Alec Pierce or maybe Michael Pittman or Josh Downs. I don't know if he gets two. Jaden Daniels, I'm thinking he can get one on the ground, one passing or two passing. Minnesota is a good defense. But with the way that J.J. McCarthy is playing, they playing behind the 8 ball. I think it makes their defense be at a disadvantage. So I like Jaden Daniels for the rushing upside than I do with Daniel Jones with no rushing upside because of his injury that he has to Liz Frank. Anytime, South, and I'm sorry for getting to you so late too, man. I should have went to you earlier. Yes, sir. Sorry, I apologize about that. Big Will says, my opponent scored 91 points with Goff, Gibbs, and Arbery. J-Mo got me 16 points. Yes, sir. My opponent scored 91 points with Goff and Gibbs and Arbery. J-Mo got me 16. That's good, man. You got J-Mo that got that 16. That's a lot of points. It might not be 30 points, but I would take 16 points any day when I still got a lot of players to go. Now, if you needed him to score 25 or something, it could be a difference, you know. But I get it for us a Thursday night game. That's good. Big Will says, hope all is well, bro. Yes, sir, all is well, man. All is well, bro. Ibuka or Watson? I'm going with Watson over Ibuka. That's a great question. South says TD bringing the truth. Yes, sir. Scott says TD bringing the truth. Yes, sir. Travis Looney says Christian Watson or Ibuka. We're going with Watson. B Silver says star Jaden Daniels or Baker. We're going with Baker Mayfield. Big Will says need help with the playoffs. Email TD for a consultation at fantasygoodesports@gmail.com. Yes, sir. Appreciate that, Big Will. I say Big Will in the house. I say Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. You know, when I ain't said that, you know I'm tripping. I got so much going on, bro. You'd be surprised. It ain't nothing negative. Just a lot of stuff I'm trying to get done for some moves I'm trying to make. So I apologize for going late so live, for going live so late. But I thought it was going to be good anyway. I thought more people would be in here. We got what, 22 people in here? Okay. Intelligente said Jerry should see no dip in production given the injury was to his non-throwing side. Big facts. Yes, sir. Intelligente. 3 strikes says Troy Franklin, Rodriguez, Devontae Smith, Woody Marks need 2. TD, what's up, bruh? What's going on with you? I'm going with Rodriguez. I'm going with Rodriguez and Franklin, man. I can't trust Devontae Smith. Woody, he got a floor, man. If you need a nice floor, I think Woody got a nice, safe floor. So you could go with Rodriguez and take out Franklin, who's been a little bit volatile the last couple weeks. And go with Rodriguez and Woody, which is 2 running backs who gonna get opportunities. They both probably gonna see at least 15 touches. At least. So if that makes you feel comfortable, Franklin got the touchdown upside, 1 big play. He's got a great matchup going against the Las Vegas Raiders. That's why I like to play Franklin. That's why I would like to get him into my lineup. That's why I said Rodriguez and Franklin. Rodriguez is just, to me, he's thriving. He's the new hot running back on the team with that demoted another guy. And so he's getting a lot of the goal line touches. I think with Jaden Daniels coming back, they should score. So that's why I like Rodriguez. Devontae Smith, man, like I told you earlier with Jaden Smith, I don't even know when Jalen Hurts. I said Jalen Smith. I don't know when Jalen Hurts is going to really throw the ball a lot. You never know. So it makes it hard to depend on a Devontae Smith. So I would say, if you want the upside, it would be Franklin and Rodriguez. If you want to go with more of a safer, good floor with some upside, would be Rodriguez and Woody. Father 3 says the Dallas defense out of rehab and back at it. Right, Father didn't wash his hands. But you is ignorant. You ignorant, bruh. Oh, buddy. That's the comment. That's cutting edge content of the night. That's the comment of the night. That's hilarious, bro. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Sports Memes Channel says start Vidal or Hampton. That's disgusting. If I had to start one, I would probably do Vidal because I've seen him play. Hampton could be rusty, and he's a rookie too. So I would go with Vidal if I had to play those. I wouldn't want to play neither, or I would play them together. I'll either play one of them, either play don't play neither one of them, or play them together. That's what I think you should do. Power Cashew says Daniel Jones or Jaden Daniels. I'm going with Jaden Daniels. K Briggs says, I just subbed. Can you give me a shout out? I am failing all my classes. That would help me so much. But bro, listen, man, tighten up. Go in the room, tighten up, man, and start focusing, man. You only live one time, bro. Don't Come on now, you don't want to flunk out of class or flunk out of school and waste all your money. You're gonna have to pay that back. Big Will says a player of AJ Brown. Okay, we did that one. He says it sounds similar to Terrell Owens. And King Sirius says it looked like Pickens was not himself against the Lions. He seemed disengaged, and even Richard Sherman roasted him after the game. Yeah, I don't know if he was disengaged. I just think maybe they was losing and he wasn't getting the targets that he wanted. And then so he kind of was engaged and then disengaged. I don't know. He's got to learn that you can't do that. They're gonna put that in. You ruin your chances to make money, and they're gonna put stuff like that in your contract. That if they catch you loafing, they can fine you. Hennessy Black says pick 2. Flowers, Pierce, Burton, Valet, Jaden Higgins. We did that one already. We said Flowers and Pierce. B Silver says Brissett, McCarthy, or Shadir. Let's go with Brissett. Shadir is a rookie, man. He got a great matchup going against Tennessee, but you can't trust it. You know, I like Shadir. If you didn't have Brissett, I would say Shadir over McCarthy. But Brissett's been too safe with 300-yard games. He's a 300-yard game king right now. So we're going to go with Brissett over Shadir. What's up, Tron? Travis says Fannin and Strange. We did that one. We said Fannin. 3 strikes says Troy Franklin, Rodriguez, Devontae Smith. We're going with Rodriguez and Woody Marks, or Rodriguez and Troy Franklin for the boom. Rashik, what's up, Rashik? Rashik says Walker, Neal, or Myers. Walker, Neal, or Myers. We going with let's go with Kenneth Walker. I'm not a big fan of Kenneth Walker, but I think he is a good play over those guys. Okay. Hennessy Black says Strange or Jawan Johnson. I'm going with Strange. G Santos says Green Bay, key lineman out too. What key lineman is out? G Santos. Michael King says, what's good, bruh? The real Don here. Yes, sir. Daniel. What's going on, Daniel? He says, happy Saturday. What's up, everyone? Tron says, I plan to roll with Nico, Olave, and McLaurin. Would you do something different? No. No, I wouldn't play. You can't play Debo. I think Debo outperforms Olave, but I wouldn't tell you to play McLaurin, Debo, and Nico over Olave because Olave is getting the targets to be respectable. I just don't. I think he's one of those trap wide receivers. He don't be on a lot of teams. He's not going to be on any teams that going to win championships. If you ask me, I think it would be a low percentage. So the only thing I could suggest is to try to get Debo in there. But other than that, you don't have to get him in there. But that's the only thing. Other than that, man, I think you're killing it with those starts. MVM says Vidal, Hampton, or Burton, pick one. If I got to pick one, I will go with Burton. Sports House at TD100. Is this wide receiver John Mechie, the wide receiver that plays for the New York Jets? TD100. Is the wide receiver John Mechie the wide receiver? Yes, he plays for the Jets. He's the underneath guy. Zach Seaman says, who to start this week? Genty, Ladd, Kyron, Waddle, Olave. I'm going with Genty. I want to go with Kyron. But they said that Blake Corn was going to get more targets. I don't believe it's going to be that bad, but I want to be conscious of that. Ladd, I don't like Ladd with a broke, even if it's not the same throwing hand. I still don't like playing lad when his quarterback has a broken hand and he have to take snaps under the center or catch the ball coming out of the shotgun. I don't. So I'm worried about lad. Genty to me is gonna get a lot of opportunities. He's gonna catch passes. He's probably one of the been catching more passes out the backfield than any running back the last 4 weeks. So I like that. That's why I like Genty. Waddle, that team has been winning, but Waddle ain't always been the main thing. It's been an A-chain team. Olave is getting the targets, but he's dropped passes. So you could go with Olave just off of a target. He's one of the best target guys in the whole NFL as far as getting targeted. I think that says Genty and Kyron or Olave is probably the best guys for you to go with. I'm not going to be biased and say sit Olave. I think it's going to be between Olave, Kyron, and Genty. So you got to start at 1. Okay, I thought it was 2. Let's just go with Genty. Let's go with Genty. Eduardo says, what's up, TD? Alec Pierce or AD Mitchell? Let's go with Alec Pierce over AD Mitchell. It's kind of a tomato, but I know Alec Pierce. This is a big time. I know I've seen Alec Pierce ball out a lot this year. AD Mitchell only seen like 2 games where he showed something. So I'm going to stay with Alec Pierce for this week. He says, I'm in the first place, most points. Quarterback Sanders, Pickens, Rice, Gibbs, A-Chain, Bowers are my starters. 12-team auction league. Bro, you killed it. You killed it. Great auction draft, bro. Gibbs and A-Chain. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, so, yeah, I would go with Alec Pierce. MVM says, Woody, Rodriguez, Charbonnet, please pick 2. We're going with Woody and Rodriguez. Hennessy Black says, thoughts on Travis Etienne tomorrow. You almost got to start him. You got a guy like that, you have to start him. Depends on who you're trying to. If you got like an A.J. Brown, which I hate to say that. I don't know why I'm mentioning A.J. Brown. But yeah, I'm starting A.J. Brown over at Travis Etienne. But I'm not starting. I would think it's kind of silly to start A.D. Mitchell over Travis Etienne. I would think it would be silly. Even though I love A.D. Mitchell as a breakout league winner, I still wouldn't want to play him over my running back that's going to get 15 touches. You don't want that. You don't want that guy. You don't want a Travis Etienne going off. A.D. Mitchell is still kind of justified going off on your bench. Travis Etienne is not. Sports Dog says, TD100, I'm using Warren in one of my wide receiver spots. I have Vidal, Marks, Rodriguez. Thanks for your insight. Anytime. He says, I have Vidal, Marks, Rodriguez. I'm using Warren in one of my wide receiver spots. I have Vidal, Marks, Rodriguez. Okay. I have Vidal, Marks, or Rodriguez. Let's see. We're going with Rodriguez over Marks and Vidal. Not wide receiver. Okay, in my running back spots, I have. Okay, right. Yeah, I will use Rodriguez. 3 Strikes says, thanks, bro. I'm going Rodriguez and Woody. Start Justin Herbert or Daniel Jones. I'm going with Daniel Jones over Justin Herbert. I'm just worried about that hand. That's just me. What's up, Chris Vila? Jassy says, what up, bro? Hope you are having a great night tonight. I got a question. Who should I start at wide receiver? A.D. Mitchell or Luther Burden? That's a great one. Let's go with A.D. Mitchell slightly over Burden. That's 2 really good guys in the same tier. They almost back-to-back in a lot of people rankings, I bet. That's a great question, bro. I'm going with A.D. Mitchell, though. Jassy says, I got Drake London out this week. That's why I got you. Okay. Yeah, I will go with A.D. Mitchell. Diego says, should I play Pearsall? No, but if you're in first place and you just want to put him in because you feel like a big game can happen, you can. Hennessy Black says, Rams kickers or Broncos kicker? I will go with the Rams kicker. Sports Dog says, TD100. I was asking if TD100 is the wide receiver John Mechie from New York Jets, one of the top 12 league winners. No, it's A.D. Mitchell. That's the only guy that I got as a league winner. If not, what Mechie did you recommend and what team is he playing for? Yeah, I recommended Mechie last week, and he was just safe. He missed he could have had a touchdown. I just think AD Mitchell is more of the guy, and that's what I thought in the beginning. But after looking at the target ratio, I got off of AD Mitchell and went to the target ratio when I should know better than that. And the target ratio failed. I like even if Mechie outplays him or gets more target, I think AD Mitchell is a better guy to play in fantasy for the upside. I don't think Mechie can go for 30 points. I think Mitchell could go for 30 points. 30 point, 40 point. Yeah, Mechie plays for the New York Jets. Chris Villa says Lamar or Burrow rest of the season. I guess I'm going to go with Burrow, man. I hate to say it. I love Lamar. I think he could go off. But right now, I got to give you an educated decision. And the educated decision is Burrow. Somebody dropped Burrow and I snagged him. Great job. John, what's up, John? He says drop Bo Nix for Jackson Dart. No. No. If you just want Jackson Dart back, like really, like you think he's going to be special, then yeah, if that's how you believe in him. But Bo Nix is hard to read. You can't get a read on him. He's got a good matchup this week, but for the rest of the season, I don't know, man. I mean, just for this week, Bo Nix got the better matchup. But I just don't. He might not even have a great game because it might be easy. They might run the ball the whole time. I don't know. So if you like Jackson Dart and you want to go down with his ship, I'll say do it. But me, I wouldn't do it. I'd probably rather have Bo Nix for the rest of the season over Jackson Dart. Chris Ritter said, do you think Ayuk is worthy of a stash in Dynasty? Yes, he is. He's definitely a worth for stash. And he's a great buy low right now. If you can get him for a third round, I will go get Ayuk for a third round pick. Three Strikes said, should I drop or bench one of Carolina running backs? I got Gibbs, JT, Hall, and Harvey. I would bench Chuba. I would keep Chuba. Should I drop or bench one Carolina running backs? Yeah, I would bench one of them. Whatever one you got, I would bench them. I wouldn't want to drop them. Jassy says, got another question. Should I start Rodriguez, Neal, Sharp, or Hampton? But I don't know if he will play. Yeah, Hampton is playing. So, yeah, Hampton is playing. I wouldn't start him this week. I will wait and see one game. So I would start Rodriguez over Neal and Sharp. Also looking at Mason from the Vikings, but scared because of the quarterback situation. And I agree, I would stay away from the Viking situation. Father 3 says, hey, bro, drop Dart for Jaden Daniels. Yes. Yes, sir. Easy. My starter is Mahomes, but I'm skeptical if they get eliminated from the playoff contention, they might sit them. Facts. And Mahomes is making too much money. I don't think they ever sit Mahomes. Will he go out the game early in the fourth quarter for whatever reason? Yeah, if they miss the playoffs. But I don't think that he's just going to be sitting out for multiple games just because they're not going to the playoffs. Maybe they come up with a fake injury. It could happen if they come up with a fake injury. But yeah, I would pick up Jaden Daniels. Joseph Massey says, Daniels, Knicks, Brissett, or Daniel Jones have Daniels in now. Daniels. Brissett. I'm gonna say Brissett. I like Daniels upside, but Brissett is safer. Brissett is safer. I like Daniels upside. John says, thanks. Have Prescott QB1 trying to get ready for the playoffs. Yes, sir. Sport Dog says, TD100. What team does AD Mitchell play for? The Jets. Adonu Mitchell. It's like Adonai. Then Mitchell. No, bro, you good. You flood the chat. That's what the chat here for, flood it. Three Strikes says, meaning, should I drop both or just bench one? Oh, okay. Meaning, should I drop both or just bench one? No, don't drop them. Just bench one of them. They started running backs. They get a lot of, they can get touches. You never know what you might need or what can happen. So I will always try to stash before I drop, especially when guys are, they can have a role. There's some guys on some teams, they no matter if somebody get hurt, they won't have a premium role. We know those two guys will. Three Strike says I got Gibbs, JT Hall, RJ Harvey, and Hampton on our right. Yeah, you don't need running backs, but I still want you to play defense if you can. I don't want you to give that because Carolina could break out and be a league winning type team. Buck says, why is it always a bald black man trying to give advice? Yeah. I don't know, bro. Appreciate you being here, though. Cutting edge content. All right, guys. Well, I guess I'm going to get ready to get out of here. I'm going to try to go live early, about 10:30. I'm going to go live about 10:30, guys. Appreciate everybody being here. All right. Peace.